Welcome to The Right Stuff from Gold Spot Pens, a podcast that guides you from pen noob to aficionado in less than 20 minutes. I'm your host, Tom Otto. In this episode, I share how to avoid disappointment when buying limited edition pens online. Hang out until the end, and I'll give away something on my desk. Most pens, especially the entry-level models like the Lamy Safari, the TWSBI Eco, Kaweco Sport, have identical common designs. That means when I buy a Safari in blue and you buy a Safari in blue, they should look like the same exact pen. It would be impossible to tell them apart. If and when your journey brings you to the realm of acrylic resin and ebonite pens, you'll notice that each pen has a unique pattern of swirls and color distribution. No two pens of the same model and material are alike, and they can sometimes be drastically different. Now, I know this concept might seem rather niche for most non-pen people, but it is something that deeply affects pen enthusiasts and can lead to heartbreak over getting a pen that is far from expectations. I believe this bitter disappointment is the driving force behind the question that Lux Letter Love left on our previous video, which reads, "What can people do to temper expectations when it comes to limited edition pens made with such different blanks?" Also, follow-up question, what is a good approach you can suggest when someone doesn't live close to a pen store and can't look at the pens in person? I thought this is a great question that highlights a weakness of e-commerce. If you're like the 95% of Gold Spot's customers and don't have a pen store within walking, driving, or mass transit distance from your home, then you probably have faced this same dilemma. And that dilemma is a beautiful limited edition pen made in swirly acrylic, a Brooks Primary Manipulation 1, for example, drops on the web. It's splashed all over social media. You get emails from your favorite pen retailers, and your pen pals are commenting on Discord that they couldn't click add to cart quick enough. Before you get sucked into a feeling of FOMO, you ask yourself, will the pen I receive be just as amazing as the one shown in the photos? A pen, like one made from Jonathan Brooks's material, Tim McKenzie's material, or Jennifer Early, among many other pen makers, can look very different from one piece to another. The particular Leonardo Primary Manipulation 1 I own has a much cooler color palette than the average shown in the manufacturer's photography. I love it like this. I actually prefer it like this. Full transparency though, I took advantage of my perks as a Gold Spot Pens employee and searched through the inventory we had to choose this pen. I stayed late one night and even FaceTime Pen Boy Roy and my friend Mike to help me pick which pen I eventually went with. If everyone could shop for pens this way, I would 10 out of 10 recommend it. However, unless you're local to the Jersey Shore / Central Jersey area, it's not possible to choose your pen this way. Or is it? I'll share some helpful shopping tips later. But first, let's address this mindset. Here's how you can temper expectations when it comes to shopping for these types of pens. First, I would think of the pen like it's your newborn baby. This is your nibby baby. You're not going to give back the baby just because it came with jet black hair instead of dirty brown hair, right? Love and appreciate the pen because it's now yours to cherish. Or think of purchasing these pens like opening packs of collectible trading cards or a mystery box item. There's a certain degree of randomness inherent in the universe, and these types of pens are a visual representation of that organic randomness. You could also embrace the quirks of your specific pen. It has a unique identity that makes it immediately distinguishable, like being able to identify your dog at the park by its spots. Or if you're completely unwilling to accept the variable nature of these designs, commit yourself to only buying these types of pens when you can see them in person, at a pen show, a private sale listing, or at a pen shop. But if you're feeling pressured by the FOMO of a limited edition, remember that pens, even if they sell out quickly, often pop up on buy-sell marketplaces like eBay, so the opportunity might be around longer than you think. To answer the second part of Lux Letter Love's question about what a person can do if they can't see a pen in person, I have a few approaches, some of which we have already established at our store. The first approach is being able to select the exact piece by using front and back photos. This is best exemplified by the Scribo Feel Cenote fountain pen made from modeled ebonite. A Goldspot exclusive design, we had 75 pens which vary greatly in its mixture of colorful swirls. As an experiment, we asked Scribo to send us all the pens and trays so we can photograph the entire run, front and back, posting each individual pen as its own variant, which means you can select the exact pen pattern you prefer. So if you buy number 23, which this is number 23, it has a fine 14 karat gold flexible nib. You'll get exactly this color pattern, which has a higher distribution of greens and blues and a little bit of black and purple. And while the images on the site don't show every angle of the pen, it does provide a pretty good idea of what you could expect. At this point, I bet you're asking yourselves, why doesn't Goldspot do this for every swirly acrylic pen, or at least the store exclusives and limited editions? The simple explanation is cost. As you can imagine, it takes our team time to organize all the pens, photograph them, and then inventory them in such a way that our shipping team can pick exactly what the customer ordered. Now, perhaps we'll revisit this with future Goldspot exclusive pens, but for now, we usually use our second approach, which is to take photos of multiple pens to show a range of what to expect. And we did this with the Edison Newark Patent Pending Pink, which is made from Jennifer Early's hand-poured resin material. Every pen has a different mix of pink, orange, and light green with varying amounts of translucency through the ribbons of color. And what can you do with this information? It allows you to set expectations that we talked about earlier. This way, you won't be surprised if your primarily pink pen has splashes of green. In fact, you may be tickled pink with delight. But let's say you're head over heels for the Dunkin' Donuts pink and orange, but don't care for the green as much. The third approach gets the pen experts involved to help you pick your pen. Our customer service team might kill me for mentioning this, but we have on certain occasions taken photos of specific pens for customers. That way you could choose among a few pens to pick the style that you want. However, opening boxes and taking photos isn't feasible to do for every pen and every customer. So we usually suggest our fourth approach, which is to make a color request in the order comments. For example, if you place an order and ask us to pick a pen that has the least amount of green or a high degree of transparency, we'll use our best judgment to select the pen that fits your preferences. In that case, the Goldspot team will do the best we can to satisfy your request. It's entirely possible that you might still get the pen and not be happy with the color, but so then what do you do if you absolutely don't like it? Well, Goldspot has a 30-day return policy. It's possible to exchange for a different color set, but it might not be possible to do it if the edition is almost sold out because there won't be a lot of pens to choose from. Or if it's outside the 30 days or it just is completely sold out, it is possible then to, let's say, sell it or trade it within the pen community. So you could go on to various pen discussion forums or a group that you belong to and put the pen for sale, offer it up for trade, say, I'm not in love with the color, but if somebody has this pen in a different color, might want to swap it. This opportunity right there, or it's also a coveted limited edition, so it may end up appreciating in value because it's already sold out at the retail level, and you could be able to turn it for a little bit of a profit possibly, or just at least be able to make your money back. But these were options that you would explore if the return option wouldn't be available to you. Congrats to Lux Letter Love for being picked as the question of the week. You've won the Girologio pen case I mentioned in the previous episode. Email me at tom@goldspot.com to claim your prize. For this week's giveaway, I'm offering up a prototype of a Retro 51 Diamond Cast Cotton Candy Carnival rollerball pen. This swirling diamond cast material is certainly part of this week's episode's discussion, but since Retro 51 pens are sealed in their tubes, we can't open them to check the coloring or pattern, so you just pretty much have to rely on the mindsets we talked about earlier. To enter for a chance to win this pen, you must be subscribed to the Goldspot Pens channel, like this video, and leave a comment with a question you'd like for me to answer in a future episode. If I answer your question of the week, you win. If you'd like to see me write with the pens mentioned in this week's episode, you could check out Goldspot Pens YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikToks for writing samples. Thank you for checking out this week's episode of the Write Stuff podcast by Goldspot Pens. Now go out there, put your pen to paper, and write stuff. Until next time, stay inky, my friends. Take care.